a game. Now a crease here. Call him young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very.
Teams have mini camps. Now the first to film practice because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. They're going to try and throw, taking the early lead. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. And this is going to be secured
with them and speculate a little bit here. They most likely need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Now a carry for Allen. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So as we mentioned at the top, well, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. He played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail. And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles, with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van... And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The NFC offense coming out here. And you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling.
Every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Taking a shot for Samuel. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. One quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. The NFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it. For it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers. And what was now
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The AFC offense heading back out. And, you know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's a guy that can make some big plays from that tight end position. Let me tell you, you better make sure you have him.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And it looks like the NFC's going to have it, and they do. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Cooper Kupp, 28 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. And it is now 21-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Allen. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
When they got off the field on 3rd down, excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Hester.